Assalamu alaikum everyone. Hope you're all well and enjoying the last few weeks of summer. I'm back today with another instant pot recipe. It's a recipe for a very popular Pakistani and Indian dish called Nihari. And we'll start off with the ingredients. And I'm using beef shank meat, which is about 1 kg, and it does include the bone. The weight of the meat includes the bone, so it's 1 kg altogether. And then I'm using of course my favorite Malka Food spices, Nihari masala, and I've made chicken Nihari with it, but this is the first time I'll be making beef Nihari, and the turnout was amazing, so I thought, okay, I should share this. So 1 kg of meat with bone. I need 6 tablespoons of oil and a half cup of fried onion, 4 tablespoons of cornstarch. I'll need some julienne ginger, green chilies, and lemon for garnish, and then 2 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste, and then of course 1 pack of masala. And other than that, I won't be using any spices except for the end, which I'll show you later on in the video. So to begin, I'll start the pot on saute mode, normal setting, and then I'll cover the base with about 3 tablespoons of oil. So I'm not going to add a lot of oil. I don't need it. I'm just going to very lightly cover the bottom of the pot with some oil, and then add the fried onion, which are only like 4 tablespoons or half a cup, into the pot. Once the onion starts to fry like that, I'll add the meat right away and fry the meat for 2 to 3 minutes. And while the meat is cooking, I will add ginger garlic paste. Make sure to use paste form of ginger and garlic, and if you want, you can I use the combined version of it, but if you want, you can use 1 tablespoon of ginger paste and 1 tablespoon of garlic paste, whatever you have on hand at home. So and then I'll just continue stir frying the meat with these ingredients, which are just ginger garlic and fried onion. And once I see the meat changing color, I'll go ahead and add 1 pack of my favorite Nihari masala. I've tried it with other brands, but honestly I find this masala tastes the best without adding any extra spices in there. So there you can see the meat has started to change color, and at this point I will add a whole pack of the masala in this. If you don't want it too spicy, just add about half a pack, then you'll have a milder flavor for this nihari. But then for the salt, you might need to add a bit of it, because otherwise it's going to be very bland. So if you're not using a whole pack of the spice mix, go ahead and add some salt to the nihari. So you can see after adding the masala, I'm just going to quickly stir fry it again for a few seconds only, and then add water. So at this point I'm only going to add 4 to 5 cups of water, because I know in Instant Pot I always end up with more gravy than expected. So I'm going to keep the water less than it requires on the spice box. And for today's recipe, I am sort of following my own procedure instead of following the steps on the box. So there, I've added about 4 to 5 cups of water, and you can see I only need enough water to cover the meat, like you can see in the video. I don't need to add any more water, and I will show you later once the cooking is done. You'll see how much gravy I'm left with. So always especially when you're using an Instant Pot, start with less water, and then if you feel you need more, add more, because the meat itself has a lot of water or broth in it. So there, I'm just going to cover, seal, and take the pot off the saute setting and put it on meat and stew for exactly 20 minutes. No more If you have it for less, that's fine, because you can just continue cooking afterwards. But then again, it's better if you do it for 20 minutes for this quantity. So once the Instant Pot, the timer goes off, I will release the steam and open the pot. So once I open the cover, you can see I'm left with about 1 extra cup of gravy in there, which probably came from the meat itself, and also I see more oil in there, which is also from the meat. So if you don't want all this oil from the meat, you can always ask the shop where you get the meat from to trim the fat off the meat and give you the lean parts of meat for nihari. And the gravy is still very liquidy, very thin, and we would like a bit of a thick gravy for nihari. So at this point, after the pressure cooking, the meat is fully cooked, so I can probably only cook it for another 5 to 6 minutes. To do that, I will start the pot on saute again, and then once it starts to boil like that, I will go ahead and add the cornstarch. And the reason why I'm using cornstarch is to keep it gluten free. So you can see I have the 4 tablespoons of cornstarch mixed with water, because I can't add the powder directly to the nihari, so I have to turn it into a liquid form and then add it. And even adding it, I need to add in about 2 to 3 different parts, because if I add it all together, it might get very thick. So I slowly add the cornstarch, and you can see it's still very liquidy, very thin. So now I'll just add the remaining cornstarch to the gravy, and I'll show you how the gravy starts to turn into a thick soup. And you can see I've added all 4 tablespoons into the nihari, and it's done. I don't need to cook it any longer. So I will take it off the I will turn the Instant Pot off and take the nihari out into a serving bowl. So after I pour all the nihari into a serving bowl, I will go to the last step. The last step is optional. It's really to give nihari the last final touch. But if you want to avoid it, you can. So at this point, I'm just going to pour all the nihari into a large bowl, and you can see the meat is fully cooked. If I had cooked it any longer, it would probably start to shred. So there, but like I kept the bones in there. I mean, since I wasn't making it for a party, it was just for our family. So I thought, we can always remove those as we're having it for our meal. So then I will garnish it with julienne ginger, and also a couple of green chilies chopped. And you can it's ready to be served at this point, but because I wanted to do the last step, which I'll show you. For the last optional step, I will add a couple of tablespoons of vegetable oil into a pan, and heat the pan on about a medium-high heat, and then add 1 teaspoon of red chili powder. And once I've done that, I will just gently mix it with the oil like that, and let it cook with the oil, but not to the point where it's burnt, but just to cook it so it gives the oil a nice color. And this is again optional. If you want to do it, go ahead, but if you want to skip this step, by all means, it won't affect the taste of your nihari. And then you can see, so in this step, you can see like the oil is starting to bubble, and once it starts to bubble like that, I will turn the heat off, and you can see the chilies are mixed with the oil. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with this. I will add this to the nihari, so just like that on the top, and it gives it that nice rich color. And At this point, Nihari is fully ready. You can serve it with your favorite naan or roti, and you can also have rice. It's really up to you, and it is gluten-free because we use cornstarch instead of flour, and we're adding lemon juice just for that extra tangy flavor. And if you don't want to add extra salt, then you can always add lemon to your Nihari. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this recipe. Very quick and very easy, and hope to see you in my next recipe. And thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel.